Now, when I say MDMA, LSD, and psilocybin, what are the first things that come to mind? Maybe raves, hippies, magic mushrooms. Now, this could be accurate if we were talking about illegal recreational drug use, but did you know that these substances are being used as a valuable psychotherapy tool? Now, let's look briefly at mental illness. Scientific America states that mental health is at an all time low, and the number of people taking medications for mental illness is at an all time high. Now, one may assume that with the uprisings in mental illness diagnosis, that we're coming out with new revolutionary psychoactive drugs. However, this is not the case. For the most part, we're being prescribed the same drugs we've been being prescribed for the last 40, 60 years. Now, in Edward Schenberg's research article, Psychedelic Assisted Psychotherapy, he states that in 1996, the FDA approved 13 new psychoactive medications. However, in 2016, they only approved one. So, the thing about these drugs is that they're prescribed and intended to be taken every day for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not like being reliant on these pills, and I do not like the side effects, which can often be extreme. So I tend to treat my anxiety and depression with meditation, yoga, exercise, alternate coping skills. But the cool thing about MDMA assisted psychotherapy and psychedelic assisted psychotherapy is that you're only intended to take a few microdoses and then we'll see long-term results. Now, a microdose being a tenth or a 20th of a normal dose, which is enough to trigger the positive side effects, such as improved mood and increased creativity, but it's not enough to trigger the negative side effects like hallucination and disassociation. Now, Rick Doblin is a leading expert in psychedelic assisted psychotherapy. He's been working in the field for over 30 years, and he's a key member in clinical trials, which are currently in phase 3. Now, Rick Doblin states that PTSD changes the brain. People with PTSD have a hyperactive amygdala, where we process fear. They have reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, where we think logically, and they have reduced activity in the hippocampus, where we store long-term memory. Now, MDMA affects the brain in reversing these effects, making it so that the person can process and store these memories long-term and move past their PTSD. Now, Rick Doblin had a colleague named Marcella who had suffered PTSD as a result of a violent sexual assault. Now, along with PTSD, she was suffering from depression and was becoming suicidal. So Rick agreed to work with her through MDMA-assisted psychotherapy, and after just 12 sessions, she was able to overcome her PTSD. And now, 35 years later, she is assisting others with PTSD through MDMA-assisted psychotherapy. So, out of 107 people in pilot studies, those receiving treatment for PTSD with no MDMA had a 23% recovery rate, but those who received treatment with MDMA had an astonishing 56% recovery rate. Now, this means that these people no longer qualify for the diagnosis of PTSD, which is incredible. So, phase 1 and 2 trials have gone extremely well. The FDA referred to MDMA in treatment of PTSD and psilocybin in treatment of treatment-resistant depression as a breakthrough therapy. Now, if phase 3 trials go as well as phase 1 and 2, it's highly probable that by 2021 we could start seeing psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy treatment centers, and it could become a regular tool in psychotherapy. It's highly likely that psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy is the answer we need to the recent uprisings in mental illness.